Hello and welcome back to this playthrough of The Legend of Zelda, and in this part I'm going to be doing the first dungeon of the game, the Eagle Dungeon. But before I do that, I'm going to be getting a bunch of goodies, a lot more rupees, and several items. So first thing is I'm going to fill up my wallet with rupees. Something that I forgot to mention in the first part of this video is that I am recording all of this in full HD. So be sure you watch in HD on YouTube so you can enjoy 8-bit Zelda in 1080p. It's excellent stuff. I also promise you an annotation-free experience. I know a lot of YouTubers spam their screen with annotations, begging you to subscribe and stuff like that. I promise I won't clutter your screen with all that nonsense. You guys are smart enough to know where the subscribe button is if you want to do that. But I'm slowly making my way down, just to some secret rupee locations. Like I said, I'm trying to fill up my wallet because I'm going to be buying a very expensive item, and I'll reveal what that is when we get there. But here is the first secret rupee location of this video, and this is a mere 10 rupees, but like I said, every bit counts. But right under this screen there's another one, which has a whopping 100 rupees in it. And that's a lot of money, and I love money, you know that. So you can see that my wallet is full. This game actually caps your wallet out at 255, so you cannot get any more rupees than 255. As I just showed you, you saw that I got no rupees from those I just got. So I'm actually going to go empty my wallet and buy a very expensive item. But first I must make my way over there. It's a little bit far away. I have to cross that bridge we crossed earlier in the first video, close to where that old lady was. Here's the bridge I was talking about. And I can head north from here to the secret item. And the shop is blocked off by an armor statue, but if you touch him, as always, you can go in. And here we have the blue ring. And like I said, it pretty much will clean out your wallet, but it will change your tunic from green to white, and now you take half damage. So all the damage that you took before, it only does half damage now. And it's pretty interesting to note that Link has the iconic green tunic that is so symbolic of the Zelda series, but you actually spend a majority of this game in a different color. If you get the ring, of course, which I recommend you do because it definitely helps out a lot. And now that I spent all that money, I need to refill my wallet a little bit, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And right here, you can refill it pretty quickly with another 100 rupees. From this nice moblin over here. And in this screen there's another 10 rupees right here in this bottom right bush. And now that I have some money, I'm actually going to buy another item. I'm going to buy the arrow. You don't need the arrow until very much later on, but it's kind of in the way, and I have some extra rupees, so I'm actually going to get it now. And it's in this shop that we passed by earlier, but we didn't go in. But now that we have some rupees, we can go in and get the arrow. And you'll notice that the merchant is also wearing a white tunic now. The merchant mimics the color tunic you're wearing. I think that's kind of strange, but an interesting detail. And now that I got the arrow and I got the blue ring and some rupees, I'm actually gonna head over to the first dungeon. It's not too far away. You can pretty much follow this water up and around, and it will lead you to a bridge that takes you to the first dungeon. And there I finally decided to kill a Zola. They were starting to annoy me, so I finally killed one. It's pretty satisfying when you kill one of those. Highly recommend you do the same. So here's the first dungeon of the game. It's the Eagle Dungeon. And right away we meet a new enemy. It's called the Stalfos. It's a skeleton-like creature. It makes appearances in many of the Zelda games, so be sure to familiarize yourself with them. Behind they leave a key, which is important. And there's actually a glitch. If you exit the dungeon right as you come in, that top door gets unlocked. So it's a glitch in the game, but don't use that, don't be lame. These are new enemies also called keys. They also are in pretty much every Zelda game, and they also leave behind a key. Right here there are some more Stalfos. And that little clock I got is a time stopper. It pretty much freezes the enemies on the screen for you. It can be quite useful. And that item over there is the compass, and it will pretty much blink if you see in the top left where the Triforce piece in the dungeon is. So that's eventually where we want to make our way to. But first I'm going to get the map and also a couple of secret items in this dungeon. These are gels, another new enemy. They're little blob-like creatures, and that was the map. And you can see the shape of the map actually looks like a eagle, and that's why they call it the Eagle Dungeon. Every dungeon in this game is pretty much shaped like what it's called. That was a secret block. You can push it and enter this screen. This is an iconic Zelda screen. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret, and it refers, if you look to the map, that eastmost room has a Triforce piece. Pretty bad translation, but that is what it is referring to. This is another new enemy. These are called Goria. They're little devils, pretty much, that throw boomerangs at you. The red ones are not too bad, but the blue ones can be quite difficult to deal with. And this is the blade trap, and they kind of strike towards you if you move in their line of sight. It's a trap seen in many of the Zelda games. And this is the first secret underground room of a dungeon, and they usually contain the dungeon item. In this case it was the bow, or it can just be a secret passage to another place in the dungeon. So we did get the bow, but we actually don't use it for a long time, until some of the later dungeons that require you to use them. And now that I have the compass, the map, and the secret item, I can make my way over to the boss. This first dungeon is very straightforward, very easy. The enemies are not very tough, and you should have no problem with it. Here's some more Goria. And these actually leave behind the boomerang. It's another item that you can use. It's a pretty sweet deal. First dungeon, we get 2 items. This is the Wall Master, very annoying enemy. If they touch you, they take you to the beginning of the dungeon, and they do make appearances in several Zelda games. But right here is the first boss of the game, Aquamentus. He's a complete joke. 3 sword strikes and he's done. He leaves behind a heart, and you can walk on through and get the first of 8 Triforce pieces. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and join me for the next chapter.